way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Now that ain't working, that's the way you do it. Let me tell you, damn guys ain't dumb. Maybe get a blister on your little finger. Maybe get a blister on your thumb. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. To the little faggot with the earring and the makeup. Yeah, buddy, that's his own hair. The little faggot got his own jet airplane. The little faggot, he's a millionaire. We got to install microwave ovens, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Move on, move on. What's that? Hawaiian noises. He's banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. Oh, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing. Get your chicks for free. We got to install microwave oven, custom kitchen deliveries. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs. Listen here, now, that ain't working. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MTV. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Money for nothing. Chicks for free. Money for nothing. And your chicks for free. Ooh, that money for nothing. Chicks for free. Money for nothing. Chicks for free. All that money for nothing. Chicks for free. Money for nothing. Chicks for free. Look at that, look at that. Easy, easy money. Easy, easy chicks for free. Easy, easy money for nothing. Chicks for free. That ain't working.
morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Wash your hands, wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands, shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth, brush, brush, brush. All right. Good morning.
Well, good morning, and too, and also, in addition to that as well, welcome to the morning show, post-NFL Draft Round 1 edition of the morning show with Uncle Lou. That's me, and BVD, what will be joining us here in just a minute. We also have BADDOG coming up a little bit later on to help us break down the draft. Me and BVD, hell, we can barely fog a mirror, but BADDOG is an NFL expert. So we're gonna have him on momentarily. By momentarily, I mean 15 minutes or so. That's right. To go ahead and explain the draft to us. If I remember right, he disagrees with me about Clown Edwards-Helaire. Seems like when I had BADDOG on before, I think he liked it. I think he liked Clown Edwards-Helaire. I like him too. Not in the first round ahead of every other running back. Clown level 1 million. Yeah, good morning, BVD.
Hey, congratulations on nailing the time of the first selection. That was amazing.
Wasn't that? I had forgot all about that, but luckily the good people in the comment section reminded me last night during the thing. Now, luckily you accidentally were going by Central Time, so you were pretty close too.
I was only 7 minutes off, so yeah, I was about 2 miles away from being right.
Yeah.
I actually jumped over in your stream real quick and congratulated you. You probably didn't see it, but
I saw you in there. I didn't see every comment, but I saw you in there. What else?
Really not sure why we're even here this morning. We should just make this the BADDOG show this morning.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of not sure, what position does Isaiah Simmons play?
About 4 different ones.
In college, yes, but in the NFL, that don't work, buddy. You got to pick one.
I think he's going to play linebacker.
Yeah, which one? Outside?
Like, I don't know. I'm not a coach.
Oh. Well,
let's go with outside though.
Okay. I think he was clearly he's one of the most talented players in the draft. All these players are talented though, except never mind. But I think that was one of the most interesting players in the draft because you don't really know. Isaiah Simmons is like going to the store and you see like the most amazing shirt you've ever seen in your entire life, and you know you need it, but you look at it and you go, I just don't know. I don't know what I would wear with that.
Well, I was reading some of the Cardinals.
That was pretty good, Lou.
I was reading some of the Cardinals player comments on him last night. Of course, obviously, they're all jacked about getting him, and the time is that they consider that a steal for them. How do you not take that guy if he falls into your lap, right?
I was surprised he was still there. There was a couple of things that surprised me about the draft. First
I know, like Juwan
picks.
not going in the first round. I know you were shocked about that.
Jesus, Juwan Jennings. You know what his 40 time is?
Yeah, 4.72.
My God, it's a wide receiver. I want to remind people that are watching. Juwan Jennings, wide receiver, 4.72. The first 3 picks didn't surprise me. Here, let's put this up real quick for the, some people have 8 o'clock bedtimes, mainly these people. Yeah, so, but here you go. Here's the first 10 picks. Now, I don't think there was anything surprising about the first 3. Now, there may be somebody out there that goes, I don't think Joe Burrow will do good, or whatever, or Chase Young or Jeff Okudah, the first 3 picks. But those picks weren't surprising. I mean, to me anyway. But Andrew Thomas at 4 surprised me. And he, of course, he's a Georgia kid, and I don't doubt his talent or ability. And he may be one of the 5 best players in the draft. What surprises me, and I'll ask BADDOG about this too. I thought the Giants would have taken Simmons right there at 4. Now BADDOG has told us they needed offensive line help too, but I don't think there's that big of a difference. Now the Giants must feel differently, but I don't think I'm a Georgia fan. I love Andrew Thomas, but I think this was a really deep draft for offensive tackle. And when we go through the rest of the list, you'll see the others that were taken. I mean, there was another offensive tackle taken at 10, another one at 11. Point is, seems like the Giants could have went a different direction at 4 and still got a day one starting offensive tackle later. And they of course chose not to do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the Cardinals were thinking.
Yeah, and that might be maybe that's to people's chagrin. I don't know. So I don't think that was a bad pick there. I just was surprised Andrew Thomas went that high. Pineapple at 5, not surprising, but probably the most controversial pick.
How many years you give him? I give him 2.
I just, yeah.
I hope he has a good career. I really
do too. I mean, listen, we hate Alabama, but come on, we never want anybody to get injured, and that's not what this is about with Tua.
Yeah. Have you ever in your life seen a less exciting reaction from a family and their parents when getting drafted 5th in the NFL than the Pineapple family?
Well, I noticed a lot of toned down reactions last night, and I think the nature of how the nature of the draft with the social distancing, and I think that might have had something to do with it. But
shit, I don't know, man.
It was different. It was weird to watch, wasn't it? It was not
weird.
The same.
It was weird, but I found myself maybe hour and a half, 2 hours in or whatever, kind of enjoying it, because you got to see all these people at home, in a way that we never get to see them. Watching Sean Payton sitting on the couch. It looked like he was in sweatpants. I don't know if those were sweatpants or not, but these are guys that we see every Sunday all through the week. We idolize them, and here they are. Lo and behold, they have couches and sit in their sweatpants just like we do. That was kind of fascinating. And everybody still got their boos in on Roger Goodell. That was great.
Yeah, I had to go ahead and boo him every time. He looked very uncomfortable talking to that TV. You know
Yeah,
how
he did.
every time they would go to Roger Goodell to make a pick, he would have his back turned and he would be talking to the TV,
Hmm.
you know, telling the fans to get, you know, or whatever. And he just, you could tell that he just wasn't comfortable talking to the TV. He looked awkward doing it.
Yeah, it was kind
to
of
me.
funny watching them trying to get the Bengals fans to boo him a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You know.
The funniest, you talk about seeing people in their living rooms and stuff like that. The funniest one I saw, and I don't think this guy's not care level has got to be through the roof, and he's earned it. He won the Super Bowl last year, but Andy Reid.
Oh God.
Boy, this guy quit caring a while ago. I mean, it looked like a mashed potato sitting. It looked like a pile of mashed potatoes sitting in a computer chair. This guy, and the funniest part, there was an
And the
exercise
shirt
machine.
he was wearing.
Yeah, a Hawaiian shirt. I mean, it looked like a curtain. And then there was that exercise machine in the background, and I'm thinking, okay.
Oh, clearly that's a coat hanger.
That thing is not getting used. I mean, this guy rewrote the record books when it comes to slob fitness.
Yeah.
Why he has that exercise machine in the background is beyond me. He clearly has not been using it, and I like
he could
Andy
very well
Reid.
be the poster boy for
Yeah.
slob fitness.
Yeah, we're in negotiations now. Me and not me and Andy Reid, but my people and Andy Reid's people are
Right.
in negotiations now to go ahead and make him the face, like you said, of slob fitness. We'll see how that works out. I don't know, but when you look at the first 10 picks, I don't think there's a bad pick on here.
Well, out of those first 10, which one would you consider the worst if you had to nail down one of them as the worst? I'm looking at, man, I'm looking at number 4.
It's hard. It's hard for me to call that a bad pick. He's
well,
going to start in the NFL for 15 years.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said out of these 10, maybe not bad, maybe the most surprising.
Well, number 4 is the most surprising to me that Andrew Thomas went that high.
Yeah.
Not because he's not talented enough to go number 4, but because there's so many tackles in the draft, and if you're drafting this high in the draft, you're not a good team, so you clearly have multiple needs. That's what surprised me. Like, I would have felt the same way if the Giants would have drafted Jedrick Wills or Mekhi Becton, the next 2 offensive tackles that got taken at 4. It's just strange to me. We'll talk to Bad Dog about it, but it was just strange to me that they chose to go for a tackle that high. And then Tua is if I was going to say the worst pick personally, it would be Tua. Not from a talent perspective, because I've said a million times he might be the most talented quarterback in this draft. Probably is. I would not take the risk on him in the first round at all, much less 5th overall. I wouldn't do it. I think the risk is too high from an injury perspective. And I noticed they said last night that he's not likely to play at all in 2020. Not in the preseason. Nothing. They basically compared it to a redshirt freshman deal. He's just not going to play at all. He's going to take another full year to recuperate from that injury. So it'll be a while before we see the pineapple.
He could be the biggest. I hate to say it this way, but he could end up being the biggest beneficiary of this coronavirus as it relates to sports.
Yeah, because nobody could check out his leg and that.
Yeah.
So, real quick, we'll look at 11 through 20 here. Here was the first truly bad pick of the draft, number 12, the Raiders, which they've been making bad draft picks for the entirety of my lifetime. This was ridiculous here. I'm sorry. Henry Ruggs III is a gimmick player. Now, that doesn't mean he's not any good. He is good. But I don't think you draft he's not a wide receiver 1.
Why would they not take Jerry Jeudy?
That's what I don't get. I think Henry Ruggs is good, but yeah, Jerry, this was the first wide receiver taken. This pick and the last pick of the first round, to me, the first wide receiver taken and the first running back taken, screw-ups. These were screw-ups here. I don't see how you sit there and stare Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb in the face and go, nah, give me Henry Ruggs. And I like Henry Ruggs, fastest player in the draft, but I just don't know. Listen, everybody in the NFL is the fastest player in the draft. Not literally, but, it's not like he's going to be running by people in the NFL. I mean, everyone in the NFL is fast, with the exception of Juwan Jennings. Oh, he's not in the NFL. Never mind. So I didn't like this pick here. I didn't like that. And and the Raiders, their next, they had 2 picks. Their second pick was just as potato as this one, but this was a little bit of a reach. Javon Kinlaw, I think he's got some ability. I don't think he can start in the NFL now. I think he needs more coaching and more development. He's got potential. But I don't know that you draft potential with your first pick in the draft. It seems to me the first pick in the draft needs to be somebody that can play immediately, and I don't think that's Kinlaw. And I think he's great. He's probably the best player Will Muschamp has had in his time at South Carolina, defensively for sure. Maybe you say Deebo Samuel for offense, but he's been Muschamp's best player at South Carolina. And then you got Jerry Jeudy came off, A.J. Terrell, CeeDee Lamb. I don't have a problem with any of these. A.J. Terrell got lit up like a Christmas tree against LSU, but who didn't? A lot of people were knocking this pick here, this A.J. Terrell pick for the Falcons. Falcons, another team that perennially screws up the draft. That's why I think this is a bad pick, just because the Falcons made it. The whole, look what he did against LSU. Everybody got lit up against LSU this year. Now, he in particular got torched. I think he gave up himself over 200 yards receiving in that game against LSU, A.J. Terrell. But the Falcons just have a history of making mind-boggling picks. So that if nothing else, it's just bad luck that A.J. Terrell got drafted by the Falcons, because he's likely not to succeed now. CeeDee Lamb, fine. Austin Jackson, another offensive tackle that the Giants could have got later in the draft. Damon Arnett, here it is. Not that this guy's not any good, but he's got some head issues. And again, I'm not talking trash or any, personally about the players, but it's just well known with this guy. I mean, he quit football, had to get talked back into playing again. He's got some talent and some ability, but this is another guy that I don't think can start right now. The Raiders just don't know what they're doing. This is Chris Carter's son. You know Chris Carter from ESPN?
Yeah, former Buckeye.
Yeah, this is his illegitimate son. So, Chase on, I don't have a problem. Jalen Rieger. This was a surprise, too. Most people didn't even know who this guy was.
Yeah, including one particularly slim Eagles fan what lives out in Bakersfield.
Yeah, I'm sure he went nuts. Justin Jefferson, no problem.
He
Kenneth
went
Murray,
more nuts before the pick.
Another bad pick here. Kenneth Murray. I don't think he's going to be successful in the NFL. A center, okay. Brandon Ayuk, okay. Jordan Love. I don't like Jordan Love. To me is a first-round pick. The Packers are screwing up here, though. I don't understand. Aaron Rodgers has come out each of the last 2 years and said, listen, stop screwing around here. Get me some help. Packers immediately go out and draft his replacement. It just makes no sense to me. I know they drafted Aaron Rodgers around the same time in Brett Favre's career as they've now drafted Jordan Love, and the plan is to keep him on the bench or whatever. But the thing about the Packers, they're a good team. Are they a Super Bowl team? No, obviously, but they're a really good team. I would have gone. Aaron Rodgers is not even on the downside yet. I don't think. I think you should have gone out and got Aaron Rodgers some more help. This pick makes no sense to me this year for the Packers. Again, if they were a 3 or 4 win team and maybe Aaron Rodgers was battling injuries the last 5 years, but Aaron Rodgers got at least another 4 or 5 years left, in my opinion. This makes no sense to me. I didn't like it. I like Jordan Love. I don't like the Packers taking him here, though. Patrick Queen, Jordan Brooks. Isaiah Wilson, this surprised some people. I wasn't sure he would go in the first round. Solomon Kinley, another Georgia offensive lineman, had a chance to go in the first round. So Georgia ends up with both of its tackles taken in the first round. Noah Igbenbarner. Jeff Gladney. I don't know how many people were Gladney that the Vikings drafted. I don't know if very many Vikings fans were Gladney to pick this guy, but they got him anyway. And then potato move of the night goes to the Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs for drafting the fourth best running back at best. At best, he's the fourth best running back available in this draft. They make him the first running back taken in the 32nd pick. This was a ridiculous pick here. This was just absolutely potato level $1 million in every possible
I'm just
way.
I'm still baffled at why none of these GMs didn't consult you before making these picks.
I don't either, because I know
what
for a fact.
What were they thinking?
They weren't, and I know for a fact they watch YouTube every day like they're supposed to. So it's not like they just didn't know. They knew, and they chose to do it anyway. So the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Falcons. Who'd the Browns take? They love screwing up drafts too. I forgot who the hell did the Browns take? I think they actually got somebody good. Yeah, they got Joe Thomas's replacement, Jedrick Wills. So they actually did right. and the other team that can't draft forever, Arizona. I like Isaiah Simmons. Some people are knocking this pick because they just don't know what position Isaiah Simmons can play. Isaiah Simmons is one of those kids that's he's so good. You got to put him somewhere. You'll make a place for him. He's that good. So I don't have a problem with that pick. Anyway, there's the draft in a nutshell. In that, man, I can't wait till the show ends today, BVD. I've never been so excited for a show to end.
Okay, go ahead and tell me.
Well, I'm going bowling. Then I'm going to go get a tattoo. Then I'm going to get my hair cut. Then I'm going to get my toes did.
You're not going to work out first?
No, that's last. If I work out first, I won't feel like doing the other things. I was running through the list.
No, you're supposed to work out first and get all jacked up and buff so you can be ready to hit that bowling alley.
Nah, I'm gonna do the workout last. I'm gonna get extra sweaty, take my shirt off, roll around on all the machines. I couldn't be more excited. I'm going to wear gloves, though.
Yeah, don't forget the mask, too, because,
You can't wear a mask while you work out, sir. How are you supposed to breathe?
Sure you can. You got to use that to wipe the sweat off your face.
No. If there's anybody at the workout place today, first of all, if there's anybody at the workout place today, Darwin says hello. And number two, if you're wearing a mask, what really are you doing? You're not really working out. If you're not working, if you're working out and you can breathe in a mask, you're not working out.
Well, you're not getting it, Luke. That's the whole point of wearing the mask. Makes the cardio part, the breathing part, a little bit harder. It works your lungs and everything harder. Jeez,
I don't like your tone.
Got to do the thinking for both of us on Fridays.
I don't like your tone.
But it's understandable because I know you are jacked up to do all these family activities together. So makes sense.
I don't like your tone or your demeanor.
Don't make me have to get Bad Dog's legs in here to straighten you out.
Yeah, anything but that. Let me call him.
Won't you do that?
I wish he would straighten me out.
Good morning in 3, sir.
Yeah, it is. It is a good morning for most teams. Yes. Let me add BVD in. Yeah, y'all there?
Yo.
Okay, great. Bad Dog, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, my 2 favorite potatoes, as I love to say.
That's right. Yeah, I'm peeled too. So
I'm baked.
I come ready to mash. You don't even have to. I'm already peeled. Just boil me and mash me. Good to go. Now I know you did a live stream last night, and I meant to. Last night I said I'm gonna watch. I need to watch Bad Dog stream in the morning. and just forward to the 4 pick, so I know what he thinks about the pick. And I forgot to do it, so I honestly don't know yet. Now, we talked before a few weeks ago, and so I know you're high on Andrew Thomas, and I know you wanted the Giants to get an offensive tackle in addition to some other pieces. But so tell us, is that the right move?
Well, you don't even have to go to live stream. I did a video on my live reaction, so you can just watch the video. You can see my reaction to it there. I mean, a lot of guys know that I was a big Isaiah Simmons guy. I wanted defense back here, but I have always. Andrew Thomas was my guy as far as tackles go since the beginning. I did a video back in November, unfortunately, because the Giants season was already over. Between who the Giants fans wanted to do on Andrew Thomas or Chase Young. I mean, I put him up that high. He's a pure left tackle, and I think that's a big reason we went that way. Wills and Wirfs are both right tackles that would have to move over to the other side, and I think they both can do that. But I think the Giants went Andrew Thomas just because he is a pure left tackle, and I love that guy at Georgia. I was happy that they took him. I think that they took one of the best linemen in this class.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You
not.
did a good job too, Bad Dog, of faking that reaction, man. I was happy for you.
It wasn't fake, man. That was legitimate.
They had to. They had to draft somebody, right, to protect last year's. I'm not going to call him a debacle because we know that Daniel Jones turned out to be way better than any of you Giants thought he would be.
Oh God, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, no, we do. We have our offensive line is. I mean, we have a lot of holes. This is why we're drafting in the top 6 every year. Why we've won 12 games in the last 3 years. We have a bad team, and a lot of Giants fans wanted Simmons, including myself. I did that. We needed a tackle. We need a center. We need a linebacker. We need a safety. We need a number 1 receiver. We need all the pieces. We can't get them all, in one pick. So the Giants are just trying to build it the right way. I hope we go center today. I would love to just revamp this offensive line, get back to running the ball. It's what was always, especially with Saquon Barkley. I mean, that's what always, Giants' success was always predicated off the run. We need to get a good offensive line in front of these 2 young guys. I mean, we took them 2nd and 6th the last 2 years. Got to protect those guys.
We talked about this, might have been the last time you were on, but we talked about this in regards to the draft one time before. You're a diehard fan. I mean, clearly, you have a YouTube channel. You're just a huge, diehard, live and breathe Giants football fan.
Yeah.
The majority, though, and I have to remind myself of this all the time at the college level, the majority of Georgia fans or Giants fans or Tennessee fans or Cardinals fans, whoever, are casual fans. The vast majority. They don't wake up every morning and check a Giants message board like you do or like I do with Georgia or whatever. I'm not putting them down at all. But an offensive tackle is just not an exciting pick to a casual fan. And so I think a lot of people, they look at the draft and they go, I want a linebacker to sack the quarterback. I want a wide receiver to score touchdowns. I want a running back that can go for 1,200 yards. I want a quarterback. It's hard for, I think, casual fans, which, again, I'm not using that term as an insult because I think the vast majority of fans fall into that category. It's just hard for them to get excited about an offensive line pick, And this was a really high draft pick, and you see this every year. Left tackle especially, probably the 3rd most important position on a team, maybe the 2nd. Mm-hmm. So it's a position you need just as bad, if not even more than a running back or a wide receiver or a rush end or a lockdown corner. I mean, you have to have a left tackle you can rely on in the NFL. And Andrew Thomas is that guy. I mean, there's not very many people who can show up in the SEC as a true freshman at 18 years old and start day one and then start every single game of your career from that point forward and give up, 1 sack over 3 years, whatever it was. I mean, there is no doubt this guy will be starting in the NFL barring injury for 10 or 15 years. I mean, he's Joe Thomas level good.
Yeah, and that's what you need at number 4. And I mean, the tackles were in high demand. Obviously, this is the first time I think in 30 years that 4 tackles went in the top 15, and they went in the top 13. So it tells you the importance of a left tackle. I mean, Andrew Thomas. I actually thought it would be reversed. I thought the Giants were going to take Jedrick Wills, and the Browns were going to take Andrew Thomas. They ended up with Jedrick Wills. I didn't know if Becton would go to the Jets. I thought that's a risky pick for the Jets. I'm not a fan of Becton. I worry about his weight. I worry about his weight. He reminds me a lot of Eric Flowers, and I was hoping the Giants stayed away from him. And I mean, even the Bucks, they traded up a pick to get Tristan Wirfs. So, and then Miami taking Austin Jackson at 18 just tells you. I mean, there was 5 outside, offensive tackles taken in the first 18 picks. So obviously they're in high demand. I mean, you have a young quarterback. Baker Mayfield is in his 3rd year. Daniel Jones is in his 2nd year. Tua's a rookie, so they're picking him up, and Sam Darnold's in his. I think this is going to be his 3rd year. So, all these guys are young quarterbacks. All these teams are young quarterbacks went out and got a blindside protector, which I agree. I think it's the 2nd most important position on the offense is a quarterback's blindside protector.
Half the players picked from the SEC. That's unbelievable. Almost half. 14 of the first 32 picks were from the SEC. Of course, none from
anybody's surprised by that.
None from Tennessee. But man, the amount of SEC bias by the NFL is really turning me off from football. The SEC is so overrated and not any good. How have they managed to trick the NFL, Bad Dog?
Well, I think it's because usually your national champions comes out of the SEC, and these guys. So I only think that the big problem, and it's not a problem. I shouldn't say it's a big problem, but I think one thing, at least it seems to be to me, fans and teams alike seem to put way too much stock in the combine. I mean, John Ross went 9th overall because he ran a 4.22 40, not because he was a good wide receiver. That's why the Bengals are picking 1st and 2nd every year, because they go out and they drafted John Ross in the top 10. Okay? That's not a good pick. You can say the same thing about it. The Raiders love to take a speed receiver. I mean, Henry Ruggs, not 3rd best receiver, in my opinion, behind Lamb and Judy. How they took Ruggs first, no idea. It's because of that 4.27 speed. I mean, Darius Hayward, they took him because he ran a low 4.3. He was terrible.
Yes.
So I think that a lot of this has to do with the combine. There's a lot of talk about Andrew Thomas falling down because he didn't have a good combine, but I'm glad that the Giants didn't read too much into that and instead looked at his film at Georgia and said, this is the guy that we want. So I think the combine has a lot to do with where these guys were picked, and I think a lot of the SEC guys blow up the combine, so that's why they go so high in the draft.
Yeah. So, worst pick of the first round.
Oh boy!
Let me answer that real quick before you do, Bad Dog. The worst pick of the first round was number 2 through 32 for none of those guys picking Jawan Jennings. Proceed.
Yeah, they should have taken. I guess somebody should have taken Jawan Jennings. Absolutely. I really did not like that. And I was State Spencer and happy, but David Arnett at 19 is a massive reach for Vegas. I don't understand what they're thinking there. They should have went linebacker at that position. I really thought they were taking Kenneth Murray or Patrick Queen. That was really surprising to me. That 19th overall pick that they went Damon Arnett. That one, there was some definitely head scratchers in this first round, especially towards the back end of the first round. But that one was strange. I didn't like that pick at all.
I was completely shocked that the Raiders had 2 first-round picks and blew them both. I couldn't believe it.
We can tell.
They normally draft so well. Oh, wait. All right, now tell me why I'm wrong that the Chiefs screwed up. Why am I wrong? I know you like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So why am I wrong?
Oh, I don't like Edwards-Helaire.
Oh,
that was a bad pick. Like you said, before you put me on here. At least the fourth best one. How DeAndre Swift? I thought they were going to take DeAndre Swift. How you don't take DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, or Jonathan Taylor at that point? If you're going to go running back, DeAndre Swift should have been your pick there. Not as you would say, Clown Edwards Hilaire. That was interesting and not a good pick by Kansas City. I cannot believe he was the first running back off the board. I guess if you're a betting man and you took those odds, you cashed in last night.
What I can't understand is why none of these GMs are YouTube video makers instead of GMs. I mean, clearly we know more than these guys. And one of these days, they're going to start listening. Just apparently, not this year. They're waiting until another year. So they'll catch on bad.
This is coming from the same guy who's picked Tennessee to beat Alabama each of the last 12 seasons on video.
What do you mean 12 seasons? I picked Tennessee to beat Alabama the last 53 years of my life.
I said on video.
I made videos all those other years too.
No, you didn't.
I did, just because it wasn't on YouTube. Lou or Bad Dog, something's going to have to be done about this brazen insubordination.
Clown Edwards Vol Daddy. What about the Packers and Jordan Love?
First of all, I honestly did think that the Packers may take Jordan Love. I really did. I was extremely shocked that they traded up. Look at them. Seattle was not taking the quarterback. Baltimore was not taking the quarterback. And the Titans, they just gave, Ryan Tannehill 2 years, $64 million. That's unbelievable that he got over $30 million. Tannehill stinks. But none of those teams are taking a quarterback. So the fact that they took Jordan Love didn't really shock me, but the fact that they traded up to get him was kind of surprising. But obviously that's not going to make Aaron Rodgers happy at all. Because as you said, that does not help them this year. And Aaron Rodgers is not like a year away from time. So it's an interesting pick, but it was more interesting that they traded up to get him.
And Aaron Rodgers hasn't – it's not a secret what Aaron Rodgers wants the Packers to do. He's been very vocal the last two off seasons in particular that – media interviews, I want the Packers to go out and get me some help for now. So he had to have been irate at this pick here. I don't. They're going to have some smoothing over to do there because they're not a terrible team. Not that they're one player away maybe from being a Super Bowl champ or anything like that. Maybe they are, but they're not a terrible. They're not a terrible team. Like they're good enough to make a run. I know Minnesota is pretty good, but then you got what is it? Chicago and Detroit are just terrible.
Mm-hmm. They are.
So I don't know. I don't blame. Normally, I don't like when players come out and try to beat this is what you need to do. But he's got a point. They're not terrible. Mm-hmm. I would have gone out and gotten somebody that can help you this season in round one. I don't know about this pick here either. And I'm a Jordan Love fan. I like Jordan Love. But I just don't know about this pick here in this spot.
Yeah, especially with how talented the wide receiver class is. You could have won Denzel Mims there, which, I was a little surprised he fell out of the first round. But same thing with T. Higgins. I'm not that I'm surprised. I thought T. Higgins would actually fall into the second round. But, there's a lot of wide receivers. Maybe the Packers will go that route. I thought that he could end up with Green Bay. Not that helps Aaron Rodgers, but I'm just shocked that they traded up. It was weird. Unless they thought somebody else was going to make that move and take him away from them. But that was interesting. And they definitely, Green Bay's been in the playoffs the last, I don't know how many years. They won the division last year, so it's strange that they didn't go out there and try to get Aaron Rodgers some help, in his twilight years when, like you said, they're still a contender. And Jordan Love does, your first-round pick should, if you're at that level where you can still compete for division titles and Super Bowls, I think with your first-round pick, you got to go out and get guys that can help you win now. Jordan Love's not that guy. Like you said, if they're winning 5 games, 6 games, Aaron Rodgers is, on the downside of his career, he's not what he used to be. He's not putting up good numbers, and you do it. I get it, but it was a strange pick.
Yeah, And I don't know the numbers. You probably have a better idea than I do, but it's not like you can't find a quarterback with potential to start 2, 3, 4 years down the road in round 2, 3, 4, 5 of an NFL draft. Like off the top of my head, how many starting quarterbacks in the NFL right now were taken after the first round? It's got to be half or more, I would assume.
Yeah, probably. Russell Wilson's the first one that comes to mind for me. Third round pick, and he's one of the best in the league. Dak Prescott's fourth round pick. So yeah, I mean, you definitely can get those guys later in the draft. I mean, you have to really do your homework, and those guys don't always pan out.
Well, yeah,
but your quarterback.
First rounders don't always pan out either, and
nope, true.
A good time to sort of take a stab at a guy that maybe you're higher on. Maybe there's a quarterback with a third or fourth round grade. You're a lot higher on that quarterback than other teams are. You've got a starter that you're good with for the next 2 or 3 years. That seems like the time to take a third, fourth, fifth rounder. And, it doesn't kill you immediately if he shows up and he's no good, because you still have your guy. So I don't know. It's just a strange pick to be. Now, your boy Kenneth Murray went 23 to the Chargers.
Yes.
Had 1 million tackles at Oklahoma, partly because no one else ever had any.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm not high on Kenneth Murray, mainly because I just am that low on Oklahoma's defense as a whole, even though I know that, just because a team has a bad defense doesn't mean one or more of the players can't be really, really good. I'm just.
What about Justin Jefferson? Is that a roll of the dice, you think?
Oh, no. I think that was a pretty good pick for Minnesota. I don't think I think that was a good fit for them. I think Justin Jefferson's a very good receiver, so I think that he'll be fine. I think Minnesota will use him correctly. I think he'll, I don't think he's going to be, like a top 5 receiver, but I definitely think he'll be really good. I think that he'll be just fine in Minnesota. I thought that was a pretty good pick.
He is the poster boy for college scouts. Don't always get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a 3-star.
Now, wasn't he a no-star?
ESPN had him as a 3-star.
Stats they were going over last night just blew my mind. 50th best receiver in the state. 380-something best receiver in the country. And here he is, a first-round draft pick. That's a story right there for you.
And the pick before that Jalen Reagor, wide receiver from TCU. Now, listen, I don't I'm not the smartest college football fan alive, but you'd be hard to find anybody that watches more college football games than I do.
Never heard of him, have you?
I had never heard of him, I will admit.
Yeah.
I had never heard of him.
But
that doesn't mean he's not any good. I'm just saying, I think that's the only player taken in the first round that when they called his name, I literally, who? Like, I had just never heard of him before. So I don't know about that.
Yeah.
He's in your division. BADDOG, Eagles, so we'll see. I don't know.
Well, that was a horrible pick by Philly, which I loved. All Philly fans thought that they were going to trade up and get CeeDee Lamb. That was the big talk. When they took Jalen Reagor, I was laughing. He's another guy that's in the first round because of his combine. And, I'm a Big 12 guy, obviously, watching Oklahoma. And I'm telling you, like, these receivers that come out of the Big 12 are trying to tell guys, unless they're extremely talented. Like, CeeDee Lamb is an extremely talented guy. His skill set is amazing. He's not the fastest guy, but 4.5 is definitely adequate. His size is adequate. His route running is amazing. His hands are ridiculous. His catch radius is one of the best I've ever seen. So I love CeeDee Lamb. But usually Big 12 receivers don't succeed because the Big 12 is a weak defensive team. You're not seeing major cornerbacks come out of the Big 12. I mean, I just go back to Josh Doxson out of TCU a few years ago. He's a failure. And a lot of times they do because they're not playing great defenses in the Big 12. We all know this. So I don't know. I like that they took it. That was a bad pick. And being a Giants fan, I love that they took him. That was not a good pick at all by Philadelphia.
Well, and again, to me, he's one of those gimmicky type players. And I don't use that term as an insult because I think Mecole Hardman fits that category too. So I'm not using that. And I love Mecole Hardman. But, look, CeeDee Lamb is 6'2". Okay, that's a wide receiver 1 in the NFL. Okay.
Yep.
This Jalen Rieger's 5'11". That and everybody's going to say Antonio Bryant. And listen, when you do that, you just prove how ignorant you are. Okay. Listen, the NBA didn't watch Spud Webb for 5 years and then go, we need to start drafting 5'8" point guards. No.
Right.
No. Exceptions to the rule prove the rule. They don't disprove it. Like, so, this is a slot guy at best. This is a kick returner. That's what this is. This is not a wide receiver 1 that's going to go out and beat press man coverage on the outside in the NFL at 5'11". It's just not.
Exactly.
These are the types of players I feel like should either be taken by teams that are really, really good, like the Chiefs did with Miko. The Patriots did this for years. They went out and just drafted puzzle pieces, players they knew weren't going to play every down, but they had the luxury of doing that. The Chiefs, when they drafted Miko, same sort of thing. That's not the case here with Jalen Rieger, in my opinion. Not that he can't do some things well in the NFL, but for the Eagles to take him 21 overall when outside of that one Super Bowl year, they've really been abysmal most years recently, it makes no sense to me. None. 5'11", gimmick guy.
And they need a number 1 receiver. They needed that. If I was in their shoes there, I'm trading out of that 21 spot if I can, trying to get some more draft capital. And I'm going back, and even though, like I said, I don't really like Big 12 receivers for the most part, you can trade back in the second round, and you see this. You could have got Denzel Mims and got draft capital. He's a tall receiver. You could have got T. Higgins. He's 6'4". You could have got him in the second round. I mean, maybe the Eagles do that. Maybe the Eagles trade up today, and they get up into the middle of the second round, and they do take a Denzel Mims or a T. Higgins. That is very possible. If they do that, if they get their outside receiver in the second round, then the Rieger pick looks a lot better. But right now, that's I laugh at that. It's a bad pick.
Yeah, and to hear you sit there and talk about the other wide receivers that are still available makes this pick look even worse.
Yep.
I mean, this is that. Yeah, that was a head scratching. That was a head scratching pick there, for sure.
To get back to Kenneth Murray, you were talking about Kenneth Murray.
Yeah.
But I think Kenneth Murray will be just fine. This is about where I thought he would go. I actually didn't think he'd get past the Raiders, but if he did, I thought he might go to the Saints, which I think that's why the Chargers traded up. I think they knew he was going to New Orleans. Kenneth Murray will be, I think he'll be fine in the NFL. Obviously not going to cover anybody. He's not a good coverage linebacker. But one thing I love about Kenneth Murray is the guy never stops. The guy is a 150% effort player on every play. He's very aggressive, and he has a great head on his shoulders. Like he's a character guy. He's a good locker room guy, and he plays the game the way you want a linebacker to play. He's going to be a great teammate. I mean, I'm going to root for him because I've been a Sooners fan since 2005, and I've never been excited, obviously, about any defensive player on Oklahoma. But I'm telling you, when I would watch number 9 in that field, I loved watching him. All you got to do is go back to the Big 12 championship game and watch what he did to Baylor. I mean, he stepped up huge in that game. So I think Kenneth Murray will be a really good linebacker. I don't think he'll be an all-pro linebacker, but I do think that at 23 he's a good pick, and I'm rooting for him, man. Just because, like I say, he's a great kid. I mean, he's a really good character guy. So he's the type of guy you root for, man. I hope that he kicks ass there. I think that he will. I think he'll be really good for Los Angeles.
I'll have to admit too, I'm reading ESPN's analysis here of the pick, and the first thing they say down there is the Chargers released Thomas Davis, who led the team in tackles last year. That's all I need to know that the Chargers need this guy, because if a 40-year-old Thomas Davis is your best defensive player, you need a lot of help.
Yeah.
And I love Thomas Davis. He's one of my favorite Georgia defensive players of the last 20 years, and he's been amazing in the NFL. Plus, he's a great guy. I think he won NFL Man of the Year a couple of years ago. I think he was with Carolina at the time. So he's he does everything right. Great guy, but Jesus, if he's leading your team in tackles, and I don't know how old he is. He's 35 probably. When was he at Georgia? The mid 2000s. So he's 35 probably. So he's up there in age. So Chargers need some help there.
Yes.
So we'll see. What can we look forward to? Tell us the rundown for the rest of the draft, because the round one is easy. Everyone knows that. Round one every Thursday, or that Thursday every year. Round one, that's all it is. But what's the schedule for the rest of the draft? The time frame.
So today we got rounds 2 and 3. I believe it starts at 7 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken. So rounds 2 and 3 today, and then rounds 4 through 7 on Saturday. It begins at noon. So that's when all those draft picks will happen.
Yeah.
And then obviously you get into Saturday. It's not 15 minutes of green. Guys will just be, the picks go really fast the last day.
Yeah. What can we expect to see in round 2? I heard the guys on ESPN towards the end of their broadcast last night are expecting a run on running backs in the second round. No, stop it.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a run on running backs. Like I said, I was surprised that I thought DeAndre Swift would go back end of the first round, and I thought he'd be the first back off the board. But you still have Swift, Dobbins, and Jonathan Taylor there.
Is that your order? Is that your order of predicted picks?
Yeah, it would be. I think that the Rams. I think you're going to see the Rams take a running back. Obviously, they let go of Todd Gurley, so they need a running back. And I think that Jonathan Taylor would be a good fit there. And I have one of my subscribers comes in the live streams. He's a Rams fan. He loves Jonathan Taylor. So if they could get him at 52, I think that would be a good pick for them. But yeah, I think that's what you're going to get. I think it's Swift. I think it's Dobbins, and I think it's Jonathan Taylor. And I think you're going to see a lot of wide receivers going this round as well.
Bengals start things off with the first pick today. Of course, they got Joe Burrow, number 1 overall. So now they turn around. They have the first pick of the second round again tonight. And the Colts at 34. Colts didn't have a first round pick, did they? They traded out.
They traded out of it. Or no, they did. That's right. They did. They traded. What did the Colts do? I don't remember. I think they did trade back. I know they got Bruckner from San Francisco, so I don't exactly remember what the trade details were of that, but the Colts are going to have a couple picks today.
The Lions at 35, and then your Giants pick again at 36. So what are you looking for there?
Well, I'll tell you, I was excited that a lot of talent seemed to fall into the second round. We need an edge rusher pretty bad. If Gross Matos is there at 36, that could definitely be a possibility. I really like a center. I know the Giants are very high on Matt Hennessy, but I really like Lloyd Cushenberry. I think that that's be the best center left in the draft. And like I said, if they decide to go receiver, you're going to have T. Higgins there at 36. You also have no safety went in the first round, which I was shocked McKinney's still on the board. The Giants need a safety really bad if you're going to have your pick. I mean, you're going to have McKinney's there. You're going to have, Antoine Winfield. You're going to have Jeremy Chin, who I really like, and, Grant Delpit. So if the Giants want to go safety, they can definitely get one of the top safeties in this draft class. So I was excited that a lot of these players that the Giants could use fell into the second round. So, we'll see. But I really don't know. Like I said, we have so many holes on this team. It'll be interesting to see which way we go, but it's not going to surprise you if we go center. I think that's where the Giants are looking. I think that Dave Gettleman really does want to build this offensive line because Daniel Jones fumbled a lot. He hit a lot last year, and you don't want your number 6 overall pick lasting 3 years in the NFL because he's getting drilled into the ground every time he draws back the pass.
Yeah. Let's I don't know why we would do this, but let's entertain BVD's Juwan Jennings fetish. Now,
first of all, I'm just joking with you guys. I don't know that Juwan will even get picked. I'd like to think he'll go somewhere in the later round. I just like to have fun with some of the other guys like General and NASCAR Ball and Fireball and some of the other Tennessee fans.
Here's a term Tennessee fans should become very familiar with. Undrafted free agent.
Oh, we're loaded with them.
Now, what's
Why are they
alarming is, I'm messing with you, BVD, but in my stream last night, the Tennessee fans in there talking about Juwan Jennings. And my thing is, and I'm not even a Tennessee fan, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, first of all, Juwan Jennings isn't any good, but why are they not talking about the other Tennessee wide receiver, which actually might get drafted? Marquez Callaway.
Most people think that Callaway won't get drafted.
Callaway's got a better chance of getting drafted than Juwan Jennings. Why? He's just a much better receiver. That's why. So
I don't know. Maybe I think what the Tennessee fans are looking at is obviously not Juwan Jennings' blazing speed. He's clearly the fastest offensive lineman in the draft. But I think they're looking more so at his rack ability. The guy's not impossible to bring down, but you very rarely see anybody bring him down at first contact. That's what I'm thinking. They're thinking. I don't know.
Let me run through some super chats real quick, and then we'll get right back to the conversation. Bad Dog, you hit it up this morning. Thank you, sir. It says he loves Andrew Thomas. You guys are the best. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for what you do. I love listening to you guys in the morning. Best thing about working from home. Yeah, the show has picked up with everybody quarantined. We have noticed that. Brian Biak, thank you, sir. He says happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too, sir, and have a great weekend. Darth, I knew an NFL video would bring you out of hiding, sir. Good morning, Annette. He says good morning. CeeDee Lamb is a Cowboy. Yes, he is. Waikiki, good to see you in here. Thank you for supporting the show this morning, sir. He says best pick for me of the first round, Jordan Love to the Packers. LOL. Crying Rodgers wanted skill guys before the draft. Instead, they got his replacement. Yeah, weird pick. And then he says, is Hurts the next Dak Prescott? No. Dak Prescott started more games last season than Jalen Hurts will ever start in his entire career. And then he says, Bears picking at 43 and 50. Who are they drafting? We'll ask Bad Dog about the Bears here in just a second. But let's, just for fun, just because I love Tennessee fans, and I happen to know for a fact they're way smarter than me because they tell me that all the time in the comments section. Let's just pull up the list of best available wide receivers still left in the draft. Surely we will see Juwan Jennings very high on this list. T. Higgins first on a list, best available, and then you see the list here. And we'll just scroll down. I fully expect to see Juwan Jennings' name appear on the screen literally any second. Vanderbilt has a receiver on here, so I'm not sure if I must have skipped Juwan Jennings. SMU. Rhode Island, Bad Dog, has a wide receiver. He's the 24th best available wide receiver. Isaiah Coulter.
There he is, number 25.
A name we're all familiar with, Isaiah Coulter, out of Rhode Island, 24th.
See, they got the wrong school next to it, and they misspelled his name there at number 25.
I gotta hit next page here to try to find our boy Juwan Jennings. Surely he's going to be high on this. Oh well, what? Marquez Callaway, the 28th best available wide receiver. APB though, an all points bulletin and a bolo, a be on the lookout, and also an Amber Alert and a milk carton alert. No Juwan Jennings yet. Let's keep strolling. Boise State needs a wide receiver taken by the name of John Hightower. Okay.
I love him, by the way.
Man, we've even
there he is. Juwan Jennings is the 4th worst wide receiver available in this year's draft.
What site are you on? Just out of curiosity, because I have a different list, but I can still put in the top 20.
ESPN.
Okay.
Yeah. ESPN has Juwan Jennings currently the 36th best available wide receiver that's still left. So again,
you got that thing on Mirror, Lou. That's the problem.
Undrafted free agent.
I see my boy Quintez Syphilis up there at number 32 for Wisconsin.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually on SportsIllustrated.com.
Where do
And
they have?
him? They have him as the 20th best wide receiver in overall, not just what's left.
Oh,
But
that's
they
alarming.
have him ranked 20th.
That is a lot.
Jawan?
That must be fake
Yes,
news.
sir.
That must be fake
No.
news.
Right
No,
after
this
Devin Duvernay.
This page that Lou's got pulled up is the same one, that Lichtenhouse that always gives Alabama all them national championships. This is the Lichtenhouse best remaining.
Speaking of Quintez Cephas from Wisconsin, though, did you know that you can spray Lysol on your lungs and it could cure you of coronavirus?
Yeah, all you need is access to your lungs.
Yeah. Well, Trump's working on it. He talked about it yesterday in his press conference.
You can drink bleach and cure it too. You
They're
knew
looking,
that, didn't you?
You know, they say if you spray your counters and stuff down with Lysol, it gets rid of the coronavirus. And he looked over at the doctors that were sitting off to the side, and he goes, "You know, is that something we're looking into? Figuring out a way to wipe people's lungs down with Lysol?" What the hell? What is this guy doing? So sometimes I can't tell when I honestly can't tell sometimes. He is a high-level troll. Sometimes I can't tell when he's serious and when he's not. But, yeah, Jawan Jennings, Tennessee doesn't have to watch round 2. I can tell you that. He won't be going.
No, he's not going round 2.
I'm not watching round 2. I'm not watching round 2 anyway because the Cardinals don't have a pick.
Right.
Not that they need one. They've made the 2 best moves of the offseason so far, so they don't need any more picks.
Clearly.
I was actually surprised that they took Isaiah Simmons. I thought for sure Tristan Wirfs or Jedrick Wills was going there to protect Kyler Murray. I was surprised they went.
If you, I was reading some of the comments from players, and I even saw one of Steve Keim's. One of his first comments was, this is not verbatim, of course, but he said, drafting for need is not always the best decision, I think is the way he said it.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, when you get a player like Simmons that falls into your lap, you take him whether you need him or not.
Best player available. And that he is. I was kind of – no, go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, and Keim has been the atypical Cardinals GM. He's actually made good draft picks since he's been there, as opposed to Bidwell, who is still making horrible draft picks wherever he is.
Yeah, some GMs are just good at being bad, you know. So there is part of me that kind of wants guys to take CeeDee Lamb just to reunite him with Kyler Murray, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, man, if they had CeeDee Lamb, DeAndre Hopkins, and Larry Fitzgerald, I'm like, what a wide receiving core that would be to try to hold down, you know. And
don't forget about the kid that didn't play last year. Such a good kid that I can't remember his name. The Iowa State, Jeff Webster. Where's he at this morning? He would know his name.
I can't think of the guy, you know, but
you know who I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I really don't, man. I don't ever want to see the Cardinals ever. They never
Something BADDOG doesn't know?
Remember when they beat us last? No, I don't. I can't think of who that is on the Cardinals. But it would have been awesome. CeeDee Lamb, you know, I certainly did not want him to go to Philly. I did not like to Dallas either. I didn't want any of those receivers in our division, and Dallas stole him at 17. I couldn't believe that he fell all the way to 17. I don't know. I'm just glad Philadelphia didn't get him. I said, I guess that's the lesser of two evils. But and Dallas has a good wide receiving core. You got CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper on the outside, and Michael Gallup. That's pretty damn good.
Speaking of casual fans, though, good morning, Fireball, in the comments section, which if I didn't know any better was the general in disguise. But he says ESPN just hates Tennessee, Lou. You know that. Yeah. All the networks and the college football websites, they have a secret list that they pass around to everybody as soon as they hire them. And that's really the only question they ask in the interview. Look at this list. You have to hate everyone on this list to work here. You figured it out, Fireball. ESPN just hates Tennessee. Everything bad that they've said about Tennessee over the last 10 years has nothing to do with the fact that they've been one of, if not the worst Power 5 programs in America for the majority of your lifetime, Fireball. It's not that. It's secret ESPN hate for Tennessee, while at the same time casual fans from every other conference in America think that all ESPN does is love Tennessee and every other SEC team, which just proves my point. Announcers and networks don't love or hate any particular players or teams. You just think that when they tell you the truth. That's it.
Hakeem
But
Butler.
I hope you're having a good
Hakeem
morning.
Butler is the guy's name, that dog.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered that, honestly. I mean,
Well,
I'm definitely not a savant when it comes to Arizona Cardinal football. Yeah.
you're fired, and I expect you to turn in your InBit NFL fan card immediately and return all funds acquired as such.
I got you, BB. I will make sure to pay more attention to the Cardinals from here on out.
Why didn't
Yeah.
Peyton Manning win the Heisman, Lou? That's what Fireball says. Don't you know? Don't you
Because
know?
ESPN,
It's
because ESPN hates Tennessee.
That's why. ESPN handpicks the Heisman every single year. They get together all the Heisman voters, all the ex-Heisman
Oh,
winners,
wait.
and they tell them who they're voting for.
No. Hang on, Luke. Fireball, turn in your vol card. He said, or Johnny Majors. Because clearly ESPN was around in the 50s.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now. Tennessee has not won the SEC in Fireball's lifetime. There's no way he's older than 22. Not with these comments he's making. There's just no way. So, it is what it is. Should I make a video today? Should I make a video today called Juwan Jennings is the 36th best available wide receiver? I think I probably should.
I'd watch it. You know, I always like my cholesterol lowered, so I watch Uncle Lou every day like I'm supposed to. I always have, since the tinfoil hat days, since the motorized cart Walmart days, you know, since the direct TV call-in days.
I think I am going to do that. I'm going to go old school today too. I don't even need to bother with the real camera or the computer or none of that. I'm just going to grab my secular phone and yell into it for 5 minutes about Juwan Jennings. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that today. Thank you, Fireball.
Did you ever find the video where that dog wanders into your garage? That is one of the funniest.
Yeah. I hope the person is in here. The last time this came up, someone then left a message or a comment or something on the video, or told me it's a Florida video, but which I can't remember. I think it might have been Florida post game 2016.
I laughed so hard when that dog came wandering into your door. I lost it. I lost it. That and your neighbor know that you. What am I doing? I'm running around. What the heck were you doing?
That's the other one I can never find. The one where the Georgia Tech video, that one sticks in my head because it was such a memorable video, the Georgia Tech video. Yeah. So whenever someone brings that up, when the lady yelled at me to shut the F up, I immediately can remember which video that was. But when people ask about the dog or the lady asking me what I'm doing or whatever, I can never remember which videos those are on.
Those are two of my favorites for sure. Oh man, good stuff. Yeah. You guys are amazing, man. I love what you guys do, and seriously, man, you guys have definitely helped out a lot. You know, every morning I wake up, you know, turn my computer on, get ready to work, but I listen to you guys for 2 hours. I may not always be able to comment, you know, because I'm working, or you know, I'm trying to handle my 3-year-old or whatever it is. You guys are phenomenal. I appreciate what you guys do, man. I really do. So thank you.
You don't normally work from home, right? This is a
virus
thing.
Yeah. So no, I don't normally work from home. I work a typical 7:30 to 4 job. But
how many views does the Daniel Jones video have, that dog?
It doesn't have as many as you think. Now, when I did the Daniel Jones, you know, two things I suppressed the video myself. First and foremost, I age restricted it because of all the swearing, so that cut down a huge part of the audience. Then I made it private. I was like, I don't want this up there. I'll just take this thing down. I made it private, and then the next morning, someone's like, hey, people are like, your video went viral. Where's your video? Your video went viral. And I'm like, well, the hell with it. If it went viral, then I'm just going to stick it back up on my page. So maybe 12,000 views. It just, like I said, I suppressed it myself. So that was a mistake on my part, but it's everywhere. I mean, even on CBS Sports Instagram yesterday.
Well, what I noticed last night when I was looking for it, a lot of people, there's a lot of videos out there of yours, the entertainer, his reaction, and a lot of the Giants reactions. People have made compilation videos that have gotten the views that you should have gotten. But I can relate to that with the Alabama video. So
all I said is, hey, you're gonna use my video. I don't care, but give me some credit. I mean, hey, this is this guy that made this video. It is. I'm not worried about it. I will never live it down. And I joke around all the time. I said, listen, Daniel Jones wins the Super Bowl, and they do the America's games on the Giants. I said, you will see my draft reaction on that America's game. I guarantee it. I said, they'll have to beep out 95% of it, but you're going to see it again. I'm never going to add that. And that's fine. Those are my emotions that night. I don't apologize for being emotional. Because it's the wrong reaction. Yeah, I was ignorant. I mean, what's funny? Well, I'm reading some of the comments on CBS Sports Instagram. The guys are like, we don't claim these guys as Giants fans. I'm like, well, number one, who the hell are you to claim anybody a fan? But they're like, oh, people that didn't know anything about Daniel Jones react like this, man. Watch in college, you would know. I'm like, who the hell watches Duke football? Does anybody watch Duke football? No. So who knows? I'm just like, I love how, 95% of the fan base was so mad at that pick, but now 95% of the fan base knew how good he would be. So, it is what it is.
I had something similar to that happen to me I made a soccer video, a World Cup video one time, which clearly most of my subscribers didn't watch because they don't care about soccer. But it was I think it was in 2016 leading up to the World Cup, and might have been 2018. Anyway, it doesn't matter now. And the U.S. men's team got eliminated before they ever even made it to the World Cup. I think 32 teams make the World Cup or whatever, and those 32 teams are divided into like 4 different regions around the world, and you have to qualify within your region to even make it into the World Cup tournament. And so we're playing teams like, Trinidad and Tobago and the Bahamas and shit like that. So even though we're terrible, we normally get in, but we didn't get in. We weren't even good enough to make it into the World Cup. We lost to Trinidad and Tobago, and knocked us out of even making it to the World Cup. And I made a video ranting and raving about it, and I said, Trinidad and Tobago, these people haven't eaten since last Christmas. They're running around barefooted and beat us in soccer, and I can't believe in a country of 330 million people we can't find 12 illegal Mexicans that can play soccer good enough to beat this third world country. And I just went off. No one on my channel watched it, but about 3 months later, I started getting tagged in like literally hundreds of Facebook posts by people I had no clue who they were. They had somehow found me on Facebook. Someone stole that video off my YouTube channel and posted it on every single Spanish-speaking Facebook page on planet Earth. Every South American country, the countries I forgot they even existed. And there was thousands and thousands of comments, and they were all in Spanish, and I couldn't read any of them. And one of the Facebook pages, the thing had like 1 million views. It was crazy. But no one cared about it here. But South America, it was like it blew. Mexico and South America, it was huge. And yeah, somebody ripped it off and put it on some Facebook page, and it just was getting millions of views on Facebook. And I was like, damn it, why can't I get that?
I know. It's crazy. And I guess last night in our stream, somebody was saying that, I don't know, it was Facebook or some other website was posting showing our video reaction of last year. So it's everywhere. I actually got recognized in that video, which I was like, of course, that would be the damn video people recognize. Like the one video, I'm like, oh God, that was like, they obviously overreacted.
Yeah.
Um,
That was great,
but
though.
it's just funny. It's just funny. I wear
It's
my
hilarious.
emotions on my sleeve. I wanted Josh Allen in that draft so bad. I never.
So
thought
did every other Giants fan.
I know, but not
Please be Allen. Please be Allen. Please be Allen. Please be Allen. Please be Allen.
Yeah. But
Pick Allen,
not
pick
now.
Allen.
Not 95% of them now wanted Daniel Jones. Of course they did. They're all experts after the fact.
Yeah.
It's a base. But that's the difference between me and a lot of fans. I'm not going to run away from being wrong. I'm human. I'm wrong all the time.
If
my wife.
If you had just done your homework, Bad Dog, and known that Daniel Jones was coached by the same guy that coached the Mannings, you would have known.
I knew about the Cutcliffe connection, and I heard all these rumors about Daniel Jones going to the Giants. And I thought this was clear smoke. I made 2 videos before the draft. Like, they better not take this guy at 6. I'm going to be pissed. How are you taking a Duke quarterback? And I just really thought they were just throwing that out there so somebody didn't trade up and get the guy they wanted. When they took him at 6, I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. But going back and looking at that whole thing, he would have never made it to 17. Never. Washington wanted him, and they picked 15th. They ended up with Dwayne Haskins, who I never wanted him either. I never was a Dwayne Haskins guy. And I also think that Denver wanted him at 10, and they can sit there and lie if they wanted Drew Lock the whole time. That's not true. If you want Drew Lock, number one, you don't trade back from 10 to 20, and number two, you don't wait till the second round to take your quarterback, if that's the guy you really want. So I do think that Daniel Jones was in high demand in that draft. Again, this is stuff that I wasn't privy to because I don't watch Duke football ever. So when I went back and watched the film on Daniel Jones after I took him, I'm like, wow, well, this kid's really not bad. He's accurate down the field. He had no talent around him at Duke whatsoever. And, he's a lot more athletic than I gave him credit for. And, I did like the pick. About 4 days afterwards, I started making a lot of videos about how I think he'll succeed in the NFL. And I actually made a video that I thought he'd be better than Dwayne Haskins, and I got killed for that video.
And not a single Giants fan on the planet made an apology video to Daniel Jones. Not a one of yous.
Yeah, I don't think you should apologize for your emotions. It's just how you feel,
Yeah.
But I did say, I'm like, I hope that video makes you look more foolish than usual. I want the kid to succeed. I hope I'm wrong about him. And I wasn't here, so hopefully he continues to get better. I mean, he's a Giant, of course. I want the kid to win 5 Super Bowls. I want everybody to be wrong about Daniel Jones.
Bears, Cubs, Canes, thank you for the super chat, sir. He says that with the last pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, me, Mr. Irrelevant.
The Giants got that pick this year.
You're not irrelevant, Bears, Cubs, Canes. We love you around here. Oh, God. The Giants have that pick? I feel bad for you, then. I must have got asked 30 times yesterday. Who do you think is going to be Mr. Irrelevant? Oh, geez, let me see. Who's the 888? Jawan Jennings? No.
No. I'll tell you who I like. At 255, he's there. Lawrence Cager.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you, but
no,
I like your enthusiasm. I don't think Lawrence Cager is very good.
But that's why he'd be Mr. Irrelevant. If nothing else, he's just a good-sized receiver at 6'5", 220. So.
Yeah, and he's Jawan Jennings level slow.
Yes, he is. But when you're picking 255, you're not going to find your 4-4 guy back there.
That's right. The Raiders took all the 4-4 guys in the top 10. I think that's the only thing they look at anymore.
If Jennings ran a 4.35, he would have went to the Ravens.
Did you see that offensive line? Who was that offensive lineman that ran a 5 He's like 6'6", 364, and ran a 5.0140?
That's Becton.
That was the guy from Louisville.
Oh my God! An absolute. Oh, they showed that highlight film after. Every time someone's picked, they showed a highlight film or whatever. The dude was ragdolling people. I'm talking Florida State defensive ends, Clemson outside linebackers. I mean, he was ragdolling people. I didn't know. I'd never heard of this Louisville guy. I mean, come on. It's I don't. It's not like I know every single player. So That
A great
guy is
high
an
school
absolute
basketball
animal.
player too.
I mean, he is unbelievable. That guy. He is a
That
building.
guy,
He's a skyscraper with feet.
yes, that guy's a walking condominium. He's enormous. But I mean, the only reason I knew about Mekhi Becton was simply because he was linked to the Giants as well. That they may look at, but he's very raw, and his weight actually scares me. That he could get really out of control with it. And he went to the Jets, so he's going to fail. The Jets don't want to Jets either. So that's not going to work out good. And did you see the size of his father?
Yeah.
Oh my God, those are just big boys. I'm like, those guys are just massive human beings. Just enormous. Yeah, Becton, there's no doubt, Becton's size is incredible, but
How'd you like to have that grocery bill every month?
Oof. Well, they can afford it now, BBD.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this about the Jets, as a Giants fan, and maybe this is something that one of the things that separates NFL from college a little bit. When you think about the teams that you just hate, it's going to be division teams. I know Cowboys, Giants. I mean Cowboys, Eagles, Redskins. How do the Jets fit into that?
I don't mind the Jets. Completely different conference. We play them, once every 4 years. I don't root against the Jets. I'll poke fun at the Jets because they're like our little brother. You know what I mean? And obviously we've had much more success than they have. I mean, when Rex Ryan was there, I couldn't stand the Jets. I hated Buddy Ryan. I hated Rex Ryan. I hated Rob Ryan. I hate that whole group of guys. So when we played the Jets back then, I wanted to beat their ass all the time, but I don't know. They don't really. It's kind of like the Mets. It's the same thing. Like the Mets don't bother me as a Yankee fan. They're a different league. We don't play them very often, and we're just more successful. So that's probably why. There may be a little jealousy on the other end because those teams aren't as successful as the other teams in New York. But I don't know. The Jets don't bother me. I mean, obviously when we play them, I want to kill them. And I was at the game last year when Jamal Adams just ran right through the line and whipped the ball out of Daniel Jones's hand and walked into the end zone for a touchdown. So, I don't mind the Jets, though. I just like to needle them. I'm not a Darnold fan, that's for sure. But I do. I like to needle them, but they don't bother.
Who would you say is your least favorite team outside of the NFC East?
I really don't like the Ravens. That's and people are like, is that because of Super Bowl 35? I'm like, no. I've never liked Ray Lewis. Thought Ray Lewis going to win a burger, literally. And the guy took PEDs, and all of a sudden you're after the whole thing with he found God and all this other stuff. I don't know, and I've never been a Flacco guy. I don't know. There's just something about the Ravens. I don't know if it's because they moved the Browns over there. I just don't like the way that whole thing happened, I guess. I don't know. It's not like I hate them, but I really don't like Baltimore, although I don't mind them now so much. I like Lamar Jackson. I don't know. I don't really know if I really think I hate a team outside of our division. Like, it's hard for me to say I really dislike a team outside of our division. It's just, I don't know. I really don't. People are like, how come we don't hate the Patriots? Like, the same reason they play in the AFC. We don't play them. And they're like, well, they play in Boston. But I'm like, I don't hate the city of Boston. I hate the Red Sox. I don't like the Patriots.
Tennessee fans have resorted to creating fake University of Georgia fan troll accounts now in the comments section. But good morning, Bulldogs Mafia, and I'm sure Juwan Jennings will get drafted today, sir.
I see him in there.
Anyway, do you watch rounds 2 through 7 the same way you watch round 1?
No, not quite. I mean, we'll be streaming both of those rounds, and I mean, round 2 and 3 definitely they're still important. I mean, especially when you only have one pick in each round, they're still very important. But the reason I watch these, and again, I do watch them not as intently. Obviously, there's all the build up and excitement around 1. But if you're in GMs, you can't miss on your round 1 pick. You're supposed to nail your first 2 rounds. To me, your money is made with your 3rd through 5th round picks. This is where you're building you do well in these rounds, you have teams that are going to compete for years to come. So it is integral that these later round picks be something on your team. But one thing I can say, Dave Gettleman has done a really good job. I mean, Darius Slink was a late 5th round pick last year, and he ended up being our best receiver. So he's found guys later in the draft. Lorenzo Carter had a really nice season. He was a third round pick. So I'm always interested to see what Gettleman does. Shane Zemany is, again, last year 3rd round pick. He had a nice rookie season for us. So I do watch, and I like this. I like to try to find the sleepers in the draft. So again, it sounds intense as the first round, but I still watch it because I think this is where your money's made as far as the NFL draft goes.
Yeah, I watch round 1 every second of it every single year, but even rounds 2 through 3 tonight, and then the rounds this weekend, I watch that on my phone, and by that I mean I just pull up the list of draft picks once an hour or so and say, oh, okay, this guy went here, this guy went this guy went there. So I don't watch the rest of the rounds.
You just pull up to see what Georgia players have been drafted, right?
Well, not just that. I mean, obviously that.
For the most part,
not just that. Because I mean, there's a lot of players in college football that I like that don't necessarily play for Georgia. I catch a lot of heat for that all the time, but like I know, I'm curious to see what happens with the running back situation in general today between Swift, Dobbins, and Jonathan Taylor. I kind of agree with Bad Dog. I could see all 3 of them going tonight. So I like to keep an eye on those kinds of things. I got to make sure no Tennessee players are getting drafted. I can't believe there's not somebody in the comment section telling me Daniel Batuli's getting drafted today.
I thought that was obvious.
You would have
didn't have to tell you that.
Slim Shady, what's up, buddy? You missed it, but we pulled up the list of available wide receivers, and good news is Jeff Thomas was on there. Bad news, he's the worst available wide receiver. So he's so bad they had Jawan Jennings ahead of him. That's how bad he is. Anyway, good morning to you, sir. He says, I'm going to need this what is this? Potato to put some more respect on Ray Lewis's name. You done made Slim Shady Canes mad, Bad Dog. He said, don't talk about Ray Lewis like that.
Miami struggled a lot, so they got to hang on to Ray Lewis. It's all right. I always got sick of it. One of the reasons I can't stand Ray Lewis is because people will compare him to Lawrence Taylor, and I'm like, just stop it. Not even close. I think that's the biggest problem I had with Ray Lewis. Now, Ray Lewis is the best middle linebacker that I've seen in my time. I give him that, but he's not Lawrence Taylor. Don't even put him in the same sentence as Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor only almost killed some people.
That was after he got done playing.
Yeah.
Boy, the hits just keep on coming with this guy. Jamie Newman will be so bad you wish you had Fromm back. Sir, I will bet you this channel that Georgia's QBs put up more numbers than Tennessee's QBs. So, there you go. You could be the proud owner, sir, of whatever this channel is called. I don't know what you have that's worth that to make the bet trade, or to make the bet fair. Your life, maybe? And, Bad Dog, one thing you have to understand about not just Slim, but just Miami fans in general, they're very protective of people like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Michael Irvin. Because it's been that long since they've had any good players.
I understand. I get it.
So
I like Ed Reed. I like Ed Reed a lot. He was one of my favorite players. I did like Ed Reed a lot. Irvin, no, I couldn't stand that guy.
Did anybody not name Michael Irvin like Michael Irvin?
Troy
Cowboy
Aikman.
fans like him. Cowboy fans like him.
Anyway. Anything else we need to know, Bad Dog?
I think we pretty much covered it all, man. It was an awesome first round. It was good to, even if it was a little obviously different. It was nice just to see some live sports And as BVD, excuse me, mentioned earlier, it was, as much as you'd like to hear the crowd booing Goodell, the fans going crazy and all the stuff, all the hoopla that goes with the draft, it was nice to see it this way, because you could see how relatable. This is very relatable to people, sitting in their living rooms watching it.
Yeah.
Just kids with their families, and I think that's awesome. To see that, because I'm just thinking to myself, as a parent, how proud of your child you have to, how proud are you as a parent that here's your kid, in any round, but the first round especially to say, oh my God, my child just made the NFL. So I did like that. I like that little, just that aspect of the way they did the draft. I think it was very relatable. I liked that a lot.
Well, last question from me. I saved it for the end. This is it for me. After this, I know everything from you I need to know. When is Fromm getting drafted, and to what team?
Oh God, Fromm is going to be 4th round probably. I don't know who would take him.
If you say it, I'm gonna be freaked out.
What, the Patriots?
No. I said last night, 4th round Steelers.
Yeah. So I think it'd be 4th round Patriots. See if Belichick can do anything. That's if they don't take Jacob Eason. But I don't love him. I go to the Patriots.
Oh, you mean Christ?
So I don't love it. Yeah, I thought he might end up with the Patriots. But when they traded back, I knew he wasn't getting there. But I do. I think Fromm is a 4th rounder later QB. Fromm.
Okay, and I lied. One more question. This is just a simple true or false one-word answer. Jake Fromm will be drafted. As bad as he is, he's bad, ain't he, BVD?
He's bad.
He's bad. Tennessee fans in the comment section, Fromm is terrible. You've been telling me for 4 years. 3 years. I've been agreeing with you for 3 years. He's terrible. True or false? Jack Fromm will be drafted ahead of any Tennessee player.
That's true.
No doubt about it. As bad as he is. Whee! Type. BVD, you got anything left for Bad Dog?
Can I get a workout regimen and a loan?
I love your BVD, you know that. Yeah, Bad Boot Camp is coming back. Just so you all know, too, I wanted to spill this stiff drug. I do have a video of me working out my calves.
Oh.
So you can always view that and see how massive they are. I do not skip leg day.
Thanks for letting us know that, Sleeta. Thanks for letting us. Thanks for the workout video, Sleeta. I mean, Bad Dog.
Yeah. I have to start live streaming my workouts. I think that's going to go on my channel.
Anyway, Bad Dog, we really appreciate you coming on today. I don't blow smoke in general. In fact, I'd rather piss people off than give them compliments. But you're the guy I go to for NFL. So and you've been very kind to me over the years. There's been several times I've asked you to come on or do things NFL related. You've never told me no. That doesn't mean that you can't. If obviously sometimes you can't do things, but you've always been accommodating to me. You've always treated me right as far as I'm concerned, and I really do. I might not always agree with your opinion, but I respect your opinion when it comes to the NFL more than anybody else I watch on here. So I really appreciate you taking the time to come on again. I hope you guys will subscribe to his channel. Just type in Bad Dog Sports. It'll come up. You guys check him out if you haven't already. He's probably the best in-game live streamer right now on YouTube, regardless of the sport. And he does all kinds of other stuff, too. He's got a rotating cast of characters that co-host with him on his channel, too. So you guys just check him out if you haven't. But Bad Dog, seriously, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, anytime, man. My pleasure. And like I said, Uncle Louie, you're definitely my college guy. There's no doubt about that. And I always tell everybody my streams, especially when it comes to Georgia football, I'm like, you want to know anything, that's your guy to run to. You guys do an amazing job. Like I said, I love listening to you two in the morning. You guys have a really good thing going, and when college football gets here, it's going to be awesome just to watch this show blow up because it's going to. So you guys continue the great work, and I'll be watching. I'm always watching. I appreciate everything you guys do, and you guys are both amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
Appreciate it, Bad Dog.
Quick question, I promise. Yes or no? NFL season starts on time with fans in the stands.
No.
Okay. All right. We don't have time to get into any explanations. I should have asked this earlier, but so okay, you're on the record. All right, Bad Dog. We appreciate, buddy, and we can't wait to talk to you again.
Sounds good. Have a good morning.
Yeah, good morning and that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was awesome, wasn't it, BVD? I really like Bad Dog.
Always is. Yeah.
I miss some of his trash talk videos, but it's like I've told you before. He 100% made the right decision with what he did with his. Channel. He was wasting his time with the TTC stuff.
He has set the bar.
Yeah.
He has set
as
the bar.
entertaining as that stuff was, it limited his audience. It's good to see his channel take off the way it has, and he's put in the work too. It's not dumb luck that he's become one of the most successful in-game live streamers when it comes to the sports world on YouTube. I mean, the guy puts in the work.
It's funny too to see some of the remaining NFL TTC guys make fun of Bad Dog. I love to see that because it's like,
every time they do it, the screen on my phone turns green.
Yeah, it's crazy
from the envy they have.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. You go back, and I'm not going to say any names, but some of the people are still doing the same elementary shit they were doing 5 years ago. I did it too. And sometimes, and listen, I'm not perfect. I fall into that trap still sometimes too. But I was glad. I don't think anybody really knew at the time. A couple of people kind of started to break away from the TTC thing, and I don't really think anybody sort of really knew what was going to happen or what was going on at the time. But it's good to see that several people have gotten to a point where they've outgrown that or whatever. It's good to see people. I don't hate on success of any kind. We talked about this before. Even on YouTube. I wish everybody could be.
Why would you?
Successful on YouTube. There's nobody that I would say quit posting your channel or don't talk about your channel. I've never understood that. So
well, if you'll notice, and I'm sure you have, all of the people that complain about people doing YouTube either part-time or full-time for a living are people that either suck at it or wish they were doing it. So
I also like how it's always because they were lucky.
Yeah, Bad Dog hasn't put in any work whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anybody makes it, they just got lucky. Yeah, has nothing to do with all the hours and hours.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take that back. There is one.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
zero effort.
One large fellow out there that has definitely been procurer of some pretty good fortune.
Well, BVD, tell them where they can find you. You have a show tonight, I believe.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a show, but I'll be streaming again tonight at 8:00 every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and of course every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday here. Anyone and everyone is welcome to come on and co-host the Wednesday show with us. You don't even have to ask to show up, and you can do it. So there you go.
All right, you guys check BVD out. It's Friday. We made it through another week, so no live shows till Monday. So you're going to have to find some kind of way to get through the next 2 days without the morning show. Pretty sure you guys can do it. And I don't know. If I read a couple of comments today that pissed me off, I may come out here yelling to my phone for 5 minutes about Jawan Jennings. Let me know if you think that's a good idea or not. Really appreciate all of you tuning in this morning. Hope you enjoyed round one of the draft. We'll catch back up Monday with what happened rounds 2 through 7, which will be completed by the time we do Monday morning show. So we'll be able to talk about whatever team it is that ended up drafting Jennings in the second round, like I keep hearing. I can't wait to do that. Appreciate
Yeah,
all of you.
I'll be
tuning in.
talking about that tonight, actually.
Oh, good. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the draft will be on while you're on, so we'll get to discuss the
Yeah.
Juwan Jennings thing live on BVD TV tonight when he gets drafted
right.
tonight. So that should be interesting.
Right.
But y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe. If you live in Georgia, please don't be an idiot. If there's a reason you have to go bowling and get a tattoo today, I'm sure there's somebody that's just been sitting around the last 3 weeks going, Jesus Christ, I really wish I could go bowling and then get a tattoo followed by a massage and then get my toenails done. If you're one of those people and you're doing all those things today, please be careful. We want a football season. Don't be responsible for some kind of outbreak, and we don't want you to get sick. So just be careful. Great week. We will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a good morning.
Yeah. See
I'm great. Know it's been a while, now I'm mixing up the drink. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. I'm good, I'm great. Know it's been a while, now I'm mixing up the drink. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. And I seen her get rich hitting the pole. I seen her, I knew she had to know. I seen her take down that tequila, down by the leader. I knew I had to meet her. Ooh, she mine. Ooh, girl, bump and grind. Ooh, she mine. Ooh, girl, bump a line. Angelina, lips like Angelina, like Selena, ass shaped like Selena. I'm like, got up, thank the Lord for the day. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Got up, thank the Lord for the day. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. I'm great. Know it's been a while, now I'm mixing up the drink. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. I'm good, I'm great. Know it's been a while, now I'm mixing up the drink. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. I just need a girl who gon' really understand. I've been popping, just took 3 in a row. I'm down to do it again, I'm on a roll. I seen him outside trying to reach him, you're trying to leave him. You said I'm the reason, tell me lies. Ooh, girl, tell me lies. Say you're mine, I'm yours for the night. I'm the realest, she said I'm the realest. Head be genius, dig game be the meanest. I'm like, got up, thank the Lord for the day. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Got up, thank the Lord for the day. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Got up, thank the Lord for the day. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Bitches in my new spot, crown on my space. Had to check the safe, check the dresser for my chains. Got up, thank the Lord for the day. Woke up back, girl, I don't even know her name. Bitches in my new spot, crown on my space. Had to check the safe, check the dresser for my chains. Paranoid, but I see something new. Paranoid, but I see something new.
All right, guys, y'all have a good weekend. Really appreciate you tuning in this week. We will do it again next week. Y'all be safe.